What's up guys, Gold Gaming here, back with another video. So today I'm doing something different, and this is something I've had planned since I've started the channel. I'm going to be doing a comparison video between three different tanks. The Object 268, the T22A, and of course the T22 Medium. Now some of you might say that this is going to be very unfair, because everyone knows that the T22 is a very OP tank. But the runner-ups, the Russian powerhouses, the DPM machines, have some stuff to compare. It's not all just going to be about the T22, but we're going to do a comparison for all three tanks. So just before we actually do get into the video, as I always say, if you want to send me replays, feel free to hit that link in the description. It will take you right to a Discord link or to my Discord channel, where you can post the replays in the respective channel. And I got an email down in the description as well. Email me your replays, describe the battle for me so I know what I'm looking for, and we will see if we can get onto the channel. Alrighty, let's get to the video. Alrighty, we are on Blitz Stars Compare Tanks for this part. And as you can see, I already have it set up for each of the tanks. So we have the T22, T62A, and Object 140 in the lineup. So this is going to give us a good comparison of the tanks. So first up, we got the firepower. We all three tanks have a 100mm gun, so it means they have a 310 Alpha. They also have a very quick reload. As you can go ahead and see, our T22 Medium only has 3,505 DPM, whereas the T62A and Object 140 have 3,591 for both of them, because they are both running a very similar gun at a very same reload. Just to go ahead and let you know, if you look down at a reload speed, the T22 has a 5.31, the T62A and Object 140 have 5.18, which, when you round up, it is a 5.2 second reload. So it's literally a 0.1 second reload between the difference of the tanks. As I said, both are 100 caliber guns, and the shell velocity is way better on the T22 or the T62A and Object 140. We go down to the aim time. The T62A has the best aim time. It also has the best dispersion on the move. As you can see, it has 0.28. When you round up, it is 0.26. It does not compare to the Leopard 1, but it is still pretty good. Then the next runner-up for dispersion is the T22, which has 2.293. When you round, it's 0.29. And then the Object 140, which is at 0.301. Round, it's going to be 0.3. We go to the mobility. The The T62A unfortunately has the slowest top speed at only 50, but the T22 and OBJ have 55. The powered weight ratio is better on the T22 because it is a bigger and heavier tank. We go ahead and move down to the terrain resistance. The T62A and Object 140 have better, and you will see it in one of the replays we do. And then, of course, credit coefficients. So the difference between the T22 is it's already enriched, you can say, but the 62A and 140 are capable of being enriched, which brings them up to a very high credit coefficient. View range is same across the board, and HP, the T62A has the best HP, and the 140 and T22 have the same HP. As you can go ahead and see, 35.62 on that on the weight for T22. The T62A is heavier, but it doesn't really feel like it because it has a way better train resistance. Sorry. And then, of course, the hull armor. Now, some people would say, looking at stats, the hull and is better on the T62A than it is on both the Object 140 and T22. That is not the case here. While the T62A has and 140 have 240 millimeters of armor on that front, it does not really show. What I mean by that is, and we'll get into here. Let's just go on to Armor Inspector. Alrighty, so here we are in Armor Inspector. We're using the Leopard 1 as the tank that is shooting at all three of them. So as we can go ahead and see, this is the armor profile of the T62A, which we have up first. Armor Inspector hasn't been updated in a while, so the T62A actually has 7 degrees of gun depression. Armor Inspector only gives it 5. So, but we can work around this. So, as we already know, it has 5 degrees of gun depression. This is 5, but if we go right about here, this is if the T62A is looking over a ridge. This right here is about 7 degrees of gun depression. As we can see, there is the cheeks that are pennable, but most of the turrets and hatch are not pennable at all with the Leopard 1. And just for show, the Leopard 1 has the best penetration in medium tanks in tier 10. The hull, of course, is pennable, so you do want to be careful with that. Where the T62A, I believe, excels is hull down. It has this brilliant turret. It's very round, with the exception of those cheeks. So if you're moving your tank, if you're moving back and forth, and you're rotating that turret back and forth, the wiggling and swinging that gun around, you will generate bounces, especially because it is a very, very nice turret. Alright, let's go on to the 140. Alrighty, here is the 140, again using the Leopard 1. So as we can see, it is a very, very nice turret as well. So again, Armor Inspector, I don't know why, but Armor Inspector gives the 140 7 degrees of gun depression, when in reality it only has 6. So there we go. So there is the 6 degrees of gun depression, roughly. Let me go and swing it around to the front. There we go. So when you're looking over a ridge, this is what you're going to see. That hatch is pennable. So the 140 is not a tank you want to play hull down. Yes, you will generate bounces on that front plate and the turrets, but it has huge cheeks. Armor Inspector doesn't really show it, unfortunately, but you can pen, like right where the thing is aiming, that is a weak spot on the turrets. Armor Inspector gives it a 0% chance of penning, but it will go through right there. Believe me. So where this tank excels, in my opinion, the 140 is more or less a brawler. You don't want to play it hull down, because again, it has a huge cheeks, and that's right or left turret, depending which side you're looking at, is pennable. But if you look, unfortunately I can't remove the tracks, but if you look, you can see it is curved right here on the sides. So when you're wiggling around and moving, you generate those auto bounce zones. So when you come around a corner, when you come around a corner like this, you can generate those bounces, but most people are going to aim center mass. Now, there is a position on one map. It is, I don't remember the name of the map. I will go ahead and put it right there. That's the name of the map. Okay, so this is the map I was talking about. It's Middleburg. I'm sorry, I completely forgot the name. When you're on this side of the spawn, if you are capable of getting to this position before the enemies, there's a spot. This position right here is great for the T62A, as having that 7 degrees of gun depression, so you don't have to pull up so far. But this position, going to be right over here, go past C-cap, right here. This is an excellent position for the Object 140 for having that very, very sloped plate. When you're looking around the corner, all they're going to see is just that front. If I can get it, they're mostly going to see that front. So if you're in this position right here, pulling back and forth, you are able to get around, and you can use that gun depression as well, so you can get those shots off. Alright, back to the actual video, where you can get into a position on the hillside closer to the enemy spawn, but it's very map dependent on which side you spawn, where you can be sitting at the enemy and they'll be looking at you from right here. All they'll be able to see is this front plate. They ain't getting through. The other thing I want to go ahead and note is look at that slope on that front plate. Let's go ahead and go over to the T22A. See, it's not as sloped. You can, of course, pull around a corner in this section right here, but when the enemy is looking at you like this, they can be able to, especially with higher calibers, they are able to get through that lower plate. Let's go back to the 140. So, but again, this tank, the 140, in my opinion, is more or less a brawler. You don't want to play its hull down because you have quite a few weak spots on that turret. Even though it is a, even though it is a 240mm turret, it's too flat on that front. Even when looking at it at the side, you are capable of getting through that cheekbone. Alrighty, let's go on to the T22. Alrighty, here is the T22's armor profile. As we can see, there is a lot of red. So the T22 is a mix of both the T62A and Object 140. It's essentially what this thing is it took the turrets of the T62A and the body of the IS-7 and gave it some very, very, very sloped armor, as we can go ahead and see when we move it down. That lower plate right there, it comes down to a, almost looks like a upside down triangle. When coming, so you can generate a lot of bounces on that side, on those sides. When using, again, we're using the Leopard 1 as the tank that shoots, those cheekbones are, there are a small cheeks, but when you're, rotating that turret, if I can grab it, when you move that turret back and forth, and swinging that gun around and moving back and forth as well, you're going to generate bounces. Now, as I said, the T62, or the T22, has a pike nose. So as you can go ahead and see, when we aim right here, this side of the pike nose is not pennable, but this side is. We move it around to the other side. This side of the pike nose is pennable. This side is not. Or this side is not, my bad. So you can see where the pike nose is both a blessing and a curse. It's very, very bittersweet. As I have said in another video with the IS-3, which also has a pike nose. This thing, again, Armor Inspector has not been updated. This thing also has 6 degrees of gun depression. So that is 5, that is about 6. It does have a gunman Blitz that is all spaced armor. So it says you can pen through, but you're not going to be able to get through the actual front of the turrets. Again, it does also have those cheeks and this pike nose. So you do want to be very careful of that. So when you're driving around, you're coming at a tank, you're better, believe it or not, to come at this angle at the tank. Of course, driving back and forth to try to see if you can generate bounces on that pike nose. But the other thing I do want to go ahead and say is when the Russians built this tank, the ammo rack is actually like right here. So you do have to be careful because people will aim for that, and this thing is very easily ammo racked. I've been ammo racked quite a few times in this thing by a grill a grill, the 183, the Jaegeru. So you got to be careful. The other thing about the tank is when you're brawling, when you're up close to heavy tanks that are bigger than you, all they can see is your turrets. The same thing goes for the T62A and 140. You can be right up next to those tanks, and all they're going to see is that front of that turret when you're aiming at them, and they're just going to bounce. So the T22 also has a, let me go ahead and move it up to the front, also has the hatches that are pennable. See, as you can see, you just gotta get very, very lucky. But when you're using at 6 degrees of gun depression, it's gonna be a little bit harder to hit those. And then of course the sides. Any like big tanks like the E100. Actually, let's go ahead and switch. Let's go ahead and switch to that. So an E100. So we're using the E100 to suit the T62 or the T22. When you're coming out at an angle, if you're coming out like this, if they aim for your side, they're not getting through. They could. I think it's about this tall. It could hit you, but you want to be rocking. You want to be swinging back and forth. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get to the replays. Alrighty, we got a Suzuki on Falls Creek in the Object 140. Now, the other thing I want to go ahead and say about the tanks is they all look amazing with their legendary camo. And the T62A and 140 have the attachments you can put on the top. For example, it gives the 140 a couple of things on the back of the turret, as well as that little headlight thing, which just looks amazing. So we're going to go ahead and come to the right side of the map. We're going to go into A-cap, and we have spotted the other T62A, Leopard 1, and Bat Chats. So we go ahead and bounce the Bat Chats. Bat Chat bounces on us. Bat Chat misses again, has one more shot, and Suzuki puts one right into that turret. The Leopard 1 is trying to come around, and our T62A is playing a little stupid. We go ahead and take down the enemy T62A, which leaves this Bat Chats and Leopard 1 on this side of the flank. We do take one from the Bat Chat as well. We ram, and the platoon mates here takes him out for his first kill, and first kill of the game. Leopard 1 right there, as you can see, the Leopard 1 did hit the gun, so it didn't do any damage, and then the grill bounces on, I actually don't know. It might have been the tracks, but I'm not too sure. So we're gonna go ahead and come around and load up the AP, see if we can get a shot in, which we do, and take down the grill for Suki's 6th kill. 7th, that would be amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and flake around behind the heavies to, clear up the rest. So you see, it is a 7v3. Hey, shout out to Monty here in the WZ131. He sticks with Suki the entire game. We go ahead and knock that turret off of the E100, pull around, and we're going to put another shot into this mouse. Put a shot into this mouse. We're gonna pull all the way around, put one into the rear, and then gonna stop right here. Turn backwards, turn backwards, turn backwards. Puts one right into the side of the mouse. Mouse salutes his gun, as well as the Rex, the Super Conqueror Rex. So another thing to note is that the 140 does have a better mobility, train reverse, and speed. So this thing does feel a lot faster than the other two. We go ahead and end on a first class. We get damage dealt and destruction assistance. We did 3.9k damage and made 58,000 credits with only having 2 kills. We go ahead and go to the teams. Suki here was top of the leaderboard with his platoon mates at second. We go to details. Excuse me. We got 16 shots fired, 15 of 14 hits and pen. And of course we did damage to the T62A, the Bat Chats, the Leopard, Grill, Super Conqueror, and the Mouse. Credits, you can go ahead and see, it is a fairly decent credit maker for tier 10. Not the most reliable, but it is up there. And then of course the XP. Alrighty, up next we got Black Death from the ACTS2 clan. We are on Yukon, the map that was just recently added, and he is in the T22A Fearless. Again, this tank also looks amazing with the mounts, with the turrets you get from the equipment, and of course the legendary camo. So you're gonna go ahead and pull up to the right side of the map and see if we can get any early game spots. The T62A has the third most accurate gun in the game, the Leopard 1 being the most accurate medium, and the Grill being the most accurate tank destroyer, both at 2.244 dispersion. So we're going to try to see if we can get some shots on. We got shots on the E100. Unfortunately, misses, hits that front plate. But we're going to reload 5.2 seconds and get one onto the E4. He is not spotted, which is great, and gets another one in. Has to switch to heat because of the angle that the E100 was at. When you do switch to heat, that does drop your DPM down, but that's not really going to matter much because this thing has these things are the DPM machines. Go ahead and takes out that patch chat, pulls around, puts one in the 268s. We're gonna stop right here, try to see if we can hit some more shots. Pulls forward, puts one right onto the top, pulls down, and is going to flank around. Just barely misses the gun and takes him out for his second kill. You can go ahead and see the entire enemy team is moving up right here. Tries to get a shot on the Foch, which he does. Is not punished for it. And the enemy team is moving around. He switches to heat just to guarantee the pen and takes the Foch out for his third kill. Puts one in the back of the WZ-120. Reloads and puts... misses. And gets another one into the side of the E100. Gonna go ahead and pull around, put another one in, tracks him in place, and gets another one. Pulls back, unfortunately takes his shots, but that means the E100 is on reload, so he's free to do damage. Tracks him again, and the... I don't know which tank that was. Unfortunately, it has some lag issues, which does not connect the button to the trigger, and misses that shot, putting it onto his gun mantlet. But does pull around, switches to that heat, unfortunately misses again. Super Conqueror coming around, he does take a shot from him, and we're still trying to eliminate that E100, which he successfully does now. If only he had done that a little bit earlier, might have changed the outcome of this game. So Super Conqueror rolls around, I don't know what he was doing, completely blows past Black Death here, and he puts another shot into him. Hits the E4 right there, and is trying to pull up, but is unfortunately eliminated from the game. So we're going to go ahead and spectate the rest of the game. E4 right there is a one-shot to the Leopard, who unfortunately has to deal with the Super Conqueror and the E4. We already know that this is not going to end too well, which is very unfortunate, because the Leopard 1 didn't push when he was capable to and was not getting the shots off. So we can go ahead and say this is not, like I said, this is not going to end too well. I'm not too sure what happens here, but Leopard 1 here was spotted, and the E4 does take him out. I don't think that was within view range, which is a little strange, but regardless, this was a fairly decent game. 4.5k damage and made 8,000 credits with 4 kills. This really goes to show that the T62A is more or less a hull down tank than a brawler, but they are all capable of doing both brawling and hull down. Alright, on to the next replay. Up next, we got me in my T22 Uncatchable. We are on Black Gold's field, and just waiting for the game to start. So this is going to be a great game to show the armor profile of the tank. Not going to, brag about it, because again, the very unfortunate part is that Wargaming has never sold this tank for straight out gold or money. It's only been in crates. But the next time crates come out, if you do have a little bit of money, go ahead and buy the lowest crates. See if you can get lucky. And if you do, you got a really OP tier 10 for like, what is it, $5? But regardless, we're gonna go on to the replay. Sheridan here has been spotted. I put a shot into him. He does not. He dunks that missile into the ground like, I don't know, 100 meters in front of me. I go and say, nice shots. Looking for shots. As you can look at the minimap, I got all 3 TVs right behind me. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for some help right here. And going to start pulling forward, because I know I have support. Our heavies on the other side of the map are going to hold their heavy floors. Well, whoever goes over there. So I'm going to go ahead and be honest right here. I was not spotted. I have no idea how. The grill, I know for a fact, would have spotted me, but I guess it's just because I was in the bush. I'm sorry, Fosh, if you're watching this video. I did pull in front of you. I know you had a shot on the grill, but I actually stopped right in front of you. But don't worry, I think you are going to pick up the kill at the end. So you're going to pull around, put a shot in. He hits the side. As you can go ahead and see, those sides are very troll. And I put a nice HE into him for 408 damage. We're going to go ahead and pull around, trying to put on a shot, try to get another shot. He bounces on the front of my turrets. He pulls forward just a little too far. I come around and put another heat into him for 424, and the Fosh does take him out. Sheridan right there. I reload just in time, put one there. I see the mouse coming around, so you go and put that speed booster on and start pulling forward. I take a shot from this OBJ. I just barely get around, very aware of that Hori that's sitting right there, and I take him out for my second kill. Hori right there. I am doing my best to not get shots, but he hits my tracks and bounces. I put one into front of him and try to get around. Now it's up to the circle of death. Malshin is coming around, so I gotta be very careful of that. I do get another shot in. I'm gonna pull around, and the Malshin is gonna bounce in the front of my turrets, and I'm gonna pull around and start using the DPM and putting in the damage. So you can go ahead and see, I will go ahead and say I am running calibrated shells in this thing for the extra pen, so I have a little bit longer reload, as you probably noticed. Go ahead and pull back onto the side. The Hori was taken out, and all that's left now is his Malshin. The girl does come up, splashes him in the face with Hesh, or HE I think that was, and we're just trying to get as much damage in as we can. Overall, this was a very great battle. As you can see, I bounced over 2,000 damage, and I did 4.3k damage. I did end on a second class right there. Nothing else was special about it. I was running gold boosters as well, and I made 17,000 credits. We go ahead and go to the team. I was top of the leaderboard for damage, only having 2 kills, and I had 1.2k base XP. Here are the statistics for shots. The efficiency, I had shots on all of these tanks as well as assistant damage. And the credits. I am running boosts. Well, no, that's just gold boosters. So you can see this thing can make credits when you get into the right situations. And then, of course, the XP. Alrighty guys, if you liked the video, go ahead and drop a like, hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I upload my next videos. If you liked what I did today, go ahead and in comments and tell me you liked it. If I missed anything, go ahead and also comment and tell me what I missed. What I have planned for this, for the series doing the comparison is I'm going to go ahead and nominate the tank that I choose that won, and I'm going to do another comparison video. I'm not going to say what, but we're going to get another comparison video out, and the winner of that comparison video is going to be compared up against one of these 3 tanks, and I will go ahead and tell you which one won in a moment. And then the tank that wins in that one is going to go up against another comparison video that I'm going to do. We're just going to do like a comparison versus another comparison versus, you know, so on and so forth till we find out the best overall tank. And we'll find out which one. Again, this whole video was mostly based on my opinion and the statistics of each vehicle and how I play them. I do not recommend you go and try to do what you saw in the videos, as you might not be successful. You might, but you might not. Again, the opinions I gave about each and every one of these tanks is, strictly my opinion. So the winner of this little bit of these three replays, of course, is going to have to go to the T22A for being a very versatile tank destroyer, primarily because it has that 7 degrees of gun depression. And although it's not a good brawler like the Optic 140, but the T62A has a lot going for it. I would have chose the T22, but not everyone is capable of getting it, so we're going to try to limit this to tech tree only. Alrighty, until next time, we will see you on the battlefield.